There's varied sentiment around the Ninjago theme for investing. I see some people say that they always avoid this theme, while others find that it has a lot of hidden gems. I've generally been a fan of the Ninjago dragons for investing, especially larger ones like the Lloyd's Golden Ultra Dragon that retired last year. That set's been off to a great start in retirement, and I thought it would be a good idea to take a look back at past retired Ninjago dragons and see how well they've been doing to see what sort of trends that we can find. In this video, I'll be covering larger Ninjago dragons that had an MSRP of $50 or more and were retired from 2020 up to 2023. Then at the end of the video, I'll briefly cover my thoughts on the larger Ninjago dragon sets that are retiring at the end of this year. Let's go ahead and jump right in with the one set that retired in 2020, the Ultra Dragon set number 70679. The set had an MSRP of $84.99, released in January of 2019, so that means it had a 2-year shelf life. On Amazon, the buy box is currently $184, and on eBay, it's selling for about $155. This set was discounted to 36% off during an Amazon Prime Day, but you also could have picked it up for around 20% off throughout its life. As a hypothetical buy-in cost, we'll say that you were able to get yours for $64. That's very conservative at about 15% off. To calculate how much profit you would be coming away with if you sold the set on Amazon after shipping and fees, I'm going to use the Amazon FBM Fulfilled by Merchant calculator. At a sale price of $184, you would be paying $27.60 in fees. I'll estimate about $15 in shipping. This could actually be a little bit more or less depending on where your buyer is located. Subtracting all those costs away, that brings you to a $77.40 profit, which is 121%. On eBay, they charge a 13.25% fee for Lego on your entire sale price. That includes shipping and even the sales tax that the buyer paid, so the exact fee percentage will vary depending on where your buyer is located. For my estimates, I like to use 16% as my estimated fee cost to give some room for those states that have really high sales tax. At a sale price of $155, you'll pay about $24.80 in fees. Again, we'll say $15 in shipping, bringing you to a total of $51.20 in profit, which is a 80% profit. Honestly, these aren't the best numbers for this long of a hold time, but if you got a better average buy cost, your profits would be higher. If you're enjoying this video, I'd appreciate it if you could drop a like and subscribe to my channel. Moving on into 2021, we had 2 sets retire, starting out with the Skull Sorcerer's Dragon, set number 71721, had an MSRP of $79.99, released in June of 2020, making it have a 1-year and 7-month shelf life. The buy box is currently $165 on Amazon, and it's selling for about $155 on eBay. Discount wise, it was 30% off from Target and then 20% off throughout its life from most major retailers. Taking that into consideration, I think a reasonable buy cost for you could have been about $62. If you sold on Amazon for $165, you'd be paying $24.75 in fees. We'll say $15 in shipping. That would bring you to a $63.25 profit, which is 102%. Then on eBay, if you sold for $155, you'd be paying about $24.80 in fees. $15 in shipping, bringing you to $53.20 in profit, which is 86%. For a 2.5-year hold time, this isn't bad at all, but it's nothing special. Next, we have Jay's Cyber Dragon, set number 71711. It had an MSRP of $49.99 and was released in January of 2020. On Amazon, the buy box is sitting at $75, and on eBay, it's selling for about $60. This is not good at all. It's a very bad performer, but it was discounted significantly during its shelf life. From Target, it was 43% off, Amazon 30% off, Kohl's 25% off, and of course 20% off throughout its life. With that in mind, a very conservative average buy cost could have been about $36, but of course it could have been less if you bought at the very lowest sales. On Amazon, if you sold today, you'd be paying about $11.25 in fees. We'll say $11 in shipping based off the size of the box. That would bring you to $16.75 in profit, which is only a 47% profit. Then on eBay, it's much worse. You'd be paying $9.60 in fees, $11 in shipping again, but because the price is so much lower on eBay, you're only getting a $3.40 profit, which is 9%. This was a very bad performer, and many of the other sets from this wave also haven't done well. I just don't think the cyber-themed Ninjago sets were that popular with collectors, and that resulted in a lot of deep discounts discounts. So if you waited for 43% off from Target and maybe even some for 30% off at Amazon and brought your costs down to $30 or less, it would be a little better, but it's still definitely an underperformer. Moving on to 2022, we had one set retire in July of that year. That was the Fire Dragon Attack, set number 71753. It had an MSRP of $49.99, released in June of 2021, so it only had a 1 year and 2 month shelf life. The buy box on Amazon is currently sitting at $78, and on eBay it's selling for about $75, so they're pretty comparable. I remember this set had a lot of stock issues during its short shelf life, and I honestly expected it to be doing much better by now considering those circumstances. I never really saw it for more than 20% off online, but it was 50% off in one of my Walmarts during an in-store clearance. So if we assume you didn't get it any cheaper by stacking discounts at a retailer like Lego, Barnes & Noble, or Kohl's, we'll say your average cost was $40. Selling on Amazon, you'd pay about $11.70 in fees. I'll estimate $9 for shipping, bringing you to a $17.29 profit, which is 43%. Then on eBay, $12 in fees, $9 shipping, bringing you to a $14 profit, which is 35%. This is another one that's definitely disappointing 2 years after retirement, but it is at least better than the Jay's Cyber Dragon. Now on to 2023, we had 3 sets retire, but the first one retired in July, and that was the Water Dragon, set number 71754, MSRP of $79.99, released in June of 2022, so it had a 2 year and 2 month shelf life. When I first looked this set up on Amazon, it was shockingly still in stock. I checked on Keepa and it looks like this set has been in and out of stock ever since it retired. I checked back a day later and it was sold out, and the lowest price from a third party is now $95. So with those considerations, it does make sense that it's only $15 over MSRP on Amazon, but it's much worse on eBay. It's only going for about $65. I remember seeing this set discounted a lot during Walmart in-store clearances, but online we saw it 30% off from Amazon, Target, and Kohl's, and then 20% off from most retailers throughout its life. We'll say you were able to get an average buy cost of $58. On Amazon, you'd be paying $14.25 in fees, about $14 in shipping, bringing you to an $8.75 profit, which is only 15%. On eBay, we have some very tough numbers here. $10.40 in fees, $14 in shipping, taking you to a $17.40 loss, which is a 30% loss. I don't think the water theme sets have been very popular with collectors either, but as I said, if there wasn't lingering stock, I do think this set would be much higher. Then we have Lloyd's Golden Ultra Dragon, set number 71774. It had an MSRP of $149.99, released in June of 2022, so it had 1 year and 7 month shelf life. On Amazon, the buy box is already up to $270, and on eBay, a pretty respectable $200. I really liked this set for investing. It just looked amazing. The large number of gold pieces, plus the demand for the sets in this season of Ninjago seemed higher. It also had the exclusive Lloyd Golden Oni mask minifigure. Another thing keeping it under the radar was its lack of sales. 20% off was the deepest discount we saw for this set online. The best way to get deep discounts on this set was by stacking 20% cashback honey offers during GWP periods from Lego.com. In late last summer of last year, I decided I would start buying them during every good GWP when they had the honey rewards for 20% cashback, but then it ended up selling out early and I only ended up with one set. Going back to these profit calculations, we'll assume that you only bought them for 20% off to be conservative. On Amazon, you'd be paying $40.50 in fees, paying about $16 in shipping, bringing you to a $93.50 profit, which is 78%. Then on eBay, you'd pay $32 in fees, $16 in shipping, and you'll have a $32 profit, which is a 27% profit. This set is off to an amazing start just 5 months into retirement, as are many other sets that were from this crystallized season. And the last retired set we have to cover is Lloyd's Legendary Dragon, set number 71766. It had an MSRP of $69.99, released in January of 2022, so it had a 2 year shelf life. While this set retired in 2023, it was from a different season of Ninjago than the last set, so just keep that in mind. On Amazon, the buy box is sitting at $97. On eBay, it's selling for about $85. There were some pretty great direct discounts on this set. 44% off from Kohl's, 36% from Target, 30% from Lego themselves, 25% off from Amazon, and of course 20% off was the normal discount on the set. An average buy cost of 30% off or more was definitely very achievable, so we'll say $49 was your average buy cost. At that price, on Amazon, you'd be paying $14.55 in fees, $14 in shipping, bringing you to a $19.45 profit, which is 40%. And on eBay, you'd pay about $13.60 in fees, $14 in shipping, bringing you to $8.40, which is a 17% profit. I'd say this set is off to a pretty average start in retirement, but it is definitely much better on Amazon than eBay, as you'd expect. Alrighty, those are all the $50 and up Ninjago dragons that retired since 2020. My takeaways from these findings are that not all dragons are made equal. Some are not nearly as popular as others, and honestly, I think it's directly tied to which look cooler. A matter of coolness can be very subjective, but I think most would agree that the Cyber Dragon isn't a great dragon compared to the others we covered. It's also very important to get good discounts on them. These aren't sets that you can just go out and buy for 20% off and expect to double your money in a couple years, which in my opinion, I don't think that's possible for most sets anyways. You need to be patient for good deals or buy from retailers like Lego, Barnes & Noble, or Kohl's, where you can stack up great discounts like 40% off. And if a set is consistently discounted over 20% off, let's say 30% off, that's a sign that I need to shoot for an even higher discount. Whatever price the set is readily available at, I don't want to be paying it. Now I'll take a look at the Ninjago dragons retiring this year that are over $50. We have 3 more this year. They are 71796, Elemental Dragon versus the Empress Mech, MSRP of $129, released in June of 2023, so it'll have a 1 year and 7 month shelf life. 71786, Zane's Ice Dragon Creature, MSRP of $99.99, released in January of 2023, so it'll have a 2-year shelf life. Then 71793, the Heatwave Transforming Lava Dragon, MSRP of $54.99, released in June of 2023, so it'll have a 1 year and 7 month shelf life. I won't break them down in full detail in this video, but I do really like the look of these. I'd say my favorite of these 3 are probably the Ice Dragon and the Lava Dragon. The Lava Dragon is very unique, and the Ice Dragon just looks really awesome. I think both will perform well in retirement, but as I mentioned, you need to only buy at good discounts if you want to make a really high percentage profit. For me, I'll only be buying them if I can get them for 40% off. My investing strategy is to buy sets at a low enough price so I'm able to double my money after shipping and fees a year to a year and a half after retirement. So if there just isn't an opportunity for me to buy at that 40% discount, I simply won't be picking them up since it doesn't fit with my investing strategy. Alrighty, that covers everything I wanted to discuss in this video. I'd love to hear your thoughts on these sets in the comments below. Are you investing in any of these 3 dragons, or are you passing? If you enjoyed the video, I'd appreciate it if you could drop a like and subscribe to my channel for more weekly LEGO investing content. Thanks everyone for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. As always, my videos are not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm only sharing my journey as a LEGO investor, and I encourage you to do your own research before buying any LEGO sets.